Fans of the United States Football League are learning to keep their eyes peeled to the field. Why does the number 57 appear in so many quarterbacks' nightmares? What life and death battle has this player waged and won? And has it really been almost 8 years since we last saw Jefferson Street Joe? It's a glittering lineup in Tinseltown as two teams with shares of first place march into the Coliseum. The visiting Stars' best marcher is Kelvin Bryant, the league's leading rusher. But against an inspired LA defense, Bryant's just spinning his wheels. Then the league's stingiest defense sends its message loud and clear.
Boy, that Philadelphia defense is tough. I mean, they are stone tough. They're not giving an inch to the express offensive line.
LA's Mike Ray hasn't thrown a single interception this season, but Philly's doghouse defense features ex-Georgia Bulldog Scott Warner. And LA fans see why the Stars' D is number 1. Number 81 is Scott Fitzke, and ex-Penn State teammate Chuck Ucina reacquaints himself. Ucina figures with the ground game stalled, it's time to fire away. Willie Collier's got one of 22 second-quarter passes, but in a pinch, the Stars' Kelvin Bryant makes the touchdown a cinch. Bryant gives a homecoming gift to UCLA's Irv Eatman, but even down 7 points, LA sticks to its game plan.
Backs a split. Nickel defense for Philadelphia. Ready to throw. Goes downfield with it in the end zone. Oh, Ellis off his fingertips, incomplete.
LA figures one good pass deserves another.
And Ray back to throw. Has time. Looking. Goes long down this side. Ellis again. He's got it. End zone. No good. They say he caught it off the field of play.
LA's Hugh Campbell must be wishing he was back in Canada, where the playing field is wider. But it's plenty wide enough for the Stars' Ucina, who's having a field day. Scott Fitzke's second touchdown catch of the season wraps up a 17-3 win and keeps alive the hex of the 5-1 Stars. From the All I Needed Was a Chance department comes this week's Toe of the Week. It's Brian Spielman of the Denver Gold, who's had to put up with some pretty trying conditions. Some of his tries haven't traveled as far as he might have liked. And sometimes they don't even let him try. When they do, they make him try from a whopping 66 yards out. But finally, Spielman gets his chance, kicking 3 field goals against Tampa Bay and adding some luster to the gold. In New Jersey, April showers have gotten a little out of hand, and the record-breaking storm is wearing out the fans' defenses. Another record-breaker gets set to wear out the Michigan Panther defense, and after gaining 177 yards against Arizona, Herschel Walker is not about to hit the skids now. Bobby Scott hands off to no one else but Herschel in a soggy first half. Along with 103 first-half yards, Herschel adds a bit of give and take, then takes it back to please the tough New York critics. Punter Dave Jacobs never does get a review, though. Instead, a rebound and an Ira Albright recovery for a touchdown. There's no hiding from it, folks. The Panthers have themselves a 7-0 lead, and the Generals go back to their catch-up attack. Tom McConaughey's acrobatics make quite a splash with an appreciative official, and just like that, the stunned Panthers are staring at a goal line stand. Michigan's guessing Herschel now, but Scott calls Dwight Sullivan's number instead, and the NC State rookie thinks his first touchdown is a blast. New Jersey's back to within a point, but Michigan quarterback Bobby Hebert sees 9 men up close and decides to look beyond. It's Derek Holloway's 6th touchdown in 4 games, but the Generals respond with a scoring drive of their own. Sam Bauer's misfortune falls into the hands of Robert Pennywell, and with Generals fans voicing their displeasure, the Panthers pounce on the chance for win number 2. Ken Lacey's 10-yard jaunt gives Michigan a resounding 21-6 knockout, and the Panthers' Jim Stanley shakes a 4-game losing streak. While both teams are still at the bottom of the standings, the Panthers can at least celebrate being atop the league in one statistic. Michigan leads the league in getting to opposing quarterbacks, and the Panthers' top pass rusher is our Defender of the Week, John Corker. The 6'6" linebacker led the league with 9 sacks prior to this week, and against the Generals, Corker's numbers entitle him to do some bragging.
And I say, anything you can do, I can do it better. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. And I can do what you can't do. You never try to do what I do. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. Say I'm the toughest. There's anything you can do, I can do better. I'm the toughest. You can do, I can do better. Said I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. I said I love my brother. I said I love my sister. I don't compete to my neighbor. And I love my neighbor.
Boston fans don't care if the rain's coming down in sheets, because their team's red hot. The Oakland Invaders are just trying to hang on against the USFL's most surprising success story, and Boston quarterback Johnny Walton is looking to extend the Breakers' winning streak to 5. After big names Bryant, Walker, and Spencer, Richard Crump is the league's 4th leading rusher, and though he's averaging more than 5.5 yards per carry, he settles for 1 on this dive. Oakland's John Ralston isn't worried about making up the 7 points, but you can't score without the ball. Dick Corey points out that you have to make the most of your breaks, so Walton goes for broke. Oakland's Derek Martin gives the ball back to Fred Basana, who has the league's best completion percentage. A major reason for Basana's success is Wyatt the Airplane Henderson, who averages nearly 20 yards per reception. Ted Double T Tarosian finishes the Oakland invasion, and now the home Blues, who've been called the Lucky Breakers by skeptics, watch the breaks go the other way. The Boston defense keeps the fans fired up, but the Invaders have played 5 of their 6 games on the road and have learned to do without. Stanford's Gordon Banks has the Breakers plotting a heist, and Terry Love comes up with it. The interception turns into just an Oakland first down, though, and the Breakers' streak is broken. Ted Tarosian's 2nd touchdown has the Invaders coming home a winner. George Allen's got a winner in Chicago, but Birmingham's Riley Dodge has his eyes on an upset. Stallion quarterback Reggie Collier is off the injured list and finds a brand new target in Jim Smith, just plucked from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Collier once passed for 1,000 yards and rushed for 1,000 in the same season at Southern Mississippi, and his double-edged threat gets Birmingham on the board. The Chicago Blitz has scored the most points in the USFL, and rookie Tim Spencer gets his first points as a pro to put the Blitz ahead. Deep in his own territory, Greg Landry is looking to expand his 7-point lead, but the Stallions' Mike Raines cuts it to 5, recording the first safety in USFL history. fourth quarter, Reggie Collier turns to the Stallions' best runner, Reggie Collier. For the day, Collier gains more than 8 yards per carry, but the Stallions have to settle for a field goal and still trail by 2. Meanwhile, Landry has taken over as the league's leading passer, and he finds former Dallas Cowboy Doug Dennison for 31 yards. All that's left is the topic, and Kevin Long goes over to give Chicago its 3rd straight win. But perhaps the most positive sign for Blitz fans was the performance of Tim Spencer, who's beginning to fulfill the high hopes that accompanied him to Chicago. At Ohio State, Spencer became a huge favorite and one of the Big Ten's most prolific rushers. The conference rushing leader in '82, Spencer was the 2nd leading rusher in Ohio State history. So when it came time to say goodbye Columbus, it was on to the pros. The Chicago Blitz made a trade with Arizona to get the drafting rights to Spencer. Then the league's 2nd overall pick became the first major college star to sign with the USFL. Against Birmingham, Spencer became the first Blitz player to run for more than 100 yards in a single game. He's now the league's 3rd leading rusher, and Chicago Blitz fans have themselves a name to remember in Tim Spencer. In Denver, fans hunger for the Gold's 3rd straight win, and Ken Johnson dazzles the Tampa Bay Bandits with some help from an ex-quarterback named Harry Sidney. Lionel Fay, a restaurant management major, doesn't care who serves him up, and Denver fans are being treated to a rare show of versatility by their runner, turned passer, turned receiver, Harry Sidney. The 23-year-old Sidney also plays on Denver's special teams and leads the Gold in both rushing and scoring. Naturally, in Denver, they love Sidney. And with the home team up by 7, John Reeves has his true love thwarted by David Dumars. The 81-yard return helps spring Denver to a 10-point first-half lead, but holding on against Tampa is no easy task. Steve Spurrier's offense revolves around quarterback Reeves, who walks into the record books this night by throwing an astonishing 63 passes. Reeves' 38 completions go to 8 different receivers and account for 357 yards, making him the league's top gainer. Running back Sam Platt catches a record 12, but from the 1, it's easier to run. The Rowdy Bandits regain the lead, and now Denver coach Red Miller tries to remember how he got ahead to begin with. Why, sure, it was Harry Sidney, and the Gold's Mr. Offense spearheads a comeback. Larry Canada, the former Denver Bronco, bulls his way into field goal range, and now it's a numbers game. Denver, down by 3, calls on number 3, Brian Spielman. The 33-yard field goal sends the game into overtime, but the coin flip doesn't come up gold. It's Tampa's ball, and that means hold on to your hats. It's no secret what's coming, but Reeves is given enough time to publish his plans. Inside goal territory, Reeves treasures his protection and strikes deep to Eric Trevelyan. On second down from the 11, Spurrier sends in a pass play, right? Well, of course. It's just a question of who Reeves will throw it to, right? But what's this? Greg Boone is running the ball. He bounces in all the way for a game-winning touchdown. And it's clear the Bandits' winning ways are no passing fancy. The sky is ablaze in the nation's capital as the Washington Federals stage a brilliant air show with the Arizona Wranglers. Though the signals from the controllers may seem a trifle confusing, once Alan Richard gets in the cockpit, it's happy landing for the Wranglers. Calvin Murray won't touch down until he's gone 79 yards, the league's longest touchdown to date. The Wranglers have an early lead, but Doug Shively's counterpart, Ray Yawk, has a surprise. It's Joe Gilliam making his first pro appearance in 8 years, jogging the memories of old Steeler fans. That's not Franco Harris, but it's James Mayberry who takes it in to tie the score. And Fed fans should be forgiven for forgetting their team's 1-4 record. Running back Billy Taylor is one of several new faces leading the Feds to the strangest places. Gilliam tries to throw a block for Taylor, and Jefferson Street Joe is taking his lumps. Joey Walters helps make it all worthwhile, and make no mistake about it, Joe Gilliam is back. The Wranglers come back to within 1. But Washington's Mike Harris sets off the next round of fireworks. With time running out in the first half, the man who once put Terry Bradshaw on the bench puts one up for his new partner. Joey Walters hangs on again, and with the Feds up by 8, it's now Coy Bacon's turn for a touch of nostalgia. The old pros are ruining the Wranglers, whose lament might be, "Say it ain't so, Joe." But so far, it's a dream come true, and if Gilliam can just push the Feds in for one more score. After 3 tries from the 1, he's down to one last play. It's back to reality for Gilliam, and now it's Alan Richard's turn to fulfill a fantasy. Jackie Flowers completes a 98-yard touchdown, his 8th six-pointer of the season, and it gives Arizona a 1-point win. Though Joe Gilliam's comeback is a painful one, it's great to have him back. Another remarkable comeback has been made by a teammate of Gilliam's, named Dan Lloyd, who's continued his career despite a life-threatening disease.
Cancer, I think, interrupts a lot of people's lives, any illness to do that. And what I use football as a means to fight through the bad times. You know, my family was there, obviously, but that's what kept me fighting every day to go through the chemotherapy treatments and then to rehabilitate. There's a lot of self-pitying, but that's not helpful with it. You got to get to work with what the problem is, and that's maybe where it relates to football and things that you've learned in athletics is that spirit to compete and to make it worthwhile.
The 29-year-old Lloyd has shown flashes of the form that once made him a starter for the New York Giants. And Dan Lloyd's courage has been a source of great inspiration. From this heartwarming drama to a toe-tapping farce, we now present the furry, feathered, and sometimes frenetic friends of the USFL. Well, there's certainly been plenty of pageantry in the USFL, but no football pageant would be complete without the cheerleaders. With names like the Untouchables and the Heartbreakers, they're lining up lots of admirers around the league. And while there still would be a game without them, well, the excitement just wouldn't be the same.
Tonight we're gonna make it happen. Tonight we'll put all of the things aside. Give in this time and show me some affection. We're going for those pleasures in the night. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. And I know I want you. We shouldn't even think about tomorrow. Sweet memories will last a long, long time. We'll have a good time, baby, don't you worry. And if we're still playing around, boy, that's just fine. Let's get excited. Oh, we just can't hide it. No. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, I want you.
The following participants have provided promotional considerations and made contributions